All right. That was a good 1-0 win over Crystal Palace away too. I mean, that's I'm really excited now. I mean, the title chances are pretty much through the roof at this. What? Why am I talking about Leicester City? Oh, right, yeah, yeah. I'm wearing a Chelsea jersey and it says Chelsea in the title of this vid. Yeah, you're probably wondering why. Because Leicester is the Chelsea of this season. That is what I expect out of my Chelsea team. To have a manager that puts out a winning team week after week, a manager who puts out the best performing players in the best skilled and performing players in their position, and a team that tries. The Chelsea today versus West Ham, first of all, has a manager who doesn't have any freaking clue what he's doing, and then has a team full of players that just kind of week after week. It's beyond ridiculous at this point. The fact that Mikel and Remy both started is astounding to me. One, because you've lost 2 games in a row with Mikel in, and it was like with Matic and Mikel, you I think didn't he play Matic Mikel against Everton? I believe he did. Give me a second, I'll check. Yep. Okay, so against PSG, both losses, you went Mikel Fabregas. Against Everton, you went Matic Mikel. You see, there's one common element in that midfield. Mikel. I don't want to spoil the secret, but it's Mikel. But I've already talked enough about Mikel. In all my reviews, I've talked about Mikel enough. So if you want to know my opinions, go watch my other reviews. Go watch my review against Everton. Go watch my review against PSG in the second leg or the first leg. I talk about it enough. The last thing I'm going to say about it is that when we've had Matic and Fabregas together, since Hiddink has taken over, he's done it for 3 games in the Premier League. First one was the very first game he took over up against Watford, who were doing well at the time. It was his first game in charge. We tied. Okay. I believe it was away, so it wasn't a terrible result, especially considering what Watford were doing at the time. Second game he did it, 5-1 demolition at Newcastle. We destroyed them. Mikel didn't even come in that day. We just crushed him. The third time he did it was against Norwich, and we started off that game crushing them. I mean, 2-1. It was 2-0 in the first half, and we looked like we were about to go score more. And then he brings on Mikel in like the 60th minute or something like that, and then we give away a goal. Actually, I think it was earlier than that. Anyway, but he brings them on, we give away a goal, and the rest of the game is us trying not to give away an equalizer. So, the facts are all there. Every time that Mikel's been in, we've won a couple games with him and Fabregas, we've won a couple games with him and Matic, but they've all been really close games. Like, we've been struggling to win them. And then on the ties, pretty much he's been in for every single tie except for the one against Watford. In the league, I'm talking about, not the wins in the cups. So the facts speak for themselves. So, done talking about Mikel. Remy, I don't understand it. You've got Traore, who's been playing out of his mind, except for when he came in against PSG, but that's completely different than going up against a Premier League defense, because he's got against PSG, you've got 2 defenders that are going to rough you up. He's not used to that. In the Premier League, yeah, they've got strong defenders, but they don't really rough you up. They're not David Luiz going in like knocking you over. They'll put a body in, but not like that. So I don't understand why not Traore. I don't understand why not Traore in general. Why not putting him on the wing even? He doesn't even have to start at striker. You can put him on the wing. He's still good. But no, you put in Remy, who the past few times he's come in been completely ineffective. And today, completely ineffective. He had 2 shots on goal. The first one should have played it to the back post. You have Azpilicueta coming in back door. And then you've got Oscar making a run towards the back post, but he tries to take the shot with no angle at all. It wasn't even like, oh, that's a really bad angle. There was no angle at all. Like, unless the keeper made a horrible mistake, you're not going to score there. So that was selfish. And then there was one where Pedro played it in, could have easily slipped it back to him, and Pedro's one-on-one with the keeper. But he takes a touch, turns, and hits a random shot from outside the box that Adrian has to parry away. But you're not going to score from there unless you really, really hit a great shot. And Remy's not capable of that. So I don't understand either of those starting at all. The rest of them, though, not bad. I don't mind seeing Kennedy in, especially over Pedro. The back line. I'll talk about their performances in a second, but yeah, I didn't mind the rest of the lineup. The rest of it was okay, but Mikel and Remy starting didn't make any sense. One thing I'm about to pull up for you, though, is how predictable Hiddink has really become over the past few weeks. I hope you can see this. Let's see. Alright, so I tweeted this at 11:29 a.m. The game started at 11 a.m. here in Georgia. This is sometime during the first half. My dumb sub predictions: Matic for Oscar. That was close. Pedro for Kennedy happened beginning of the second half. Traore for Remy. And like I said, the last one is dumb because Guus will wait too long. Now, obviously, when I say Matic for Oscar, what I truly mean is Matic comes on, Fabregas pushes up out of position, because for some reason he loves to do that. The only reason that didn't happen is because we were a goal behind. If we had been tied, he most likely would have done that. But having Loftus-Cheek come on for Oscar is like, he played okay in the last game. He ended up drawing the penalty, but he didn't really do much today. Like, aside from, and really that was mainly William making the great run, but he really hasn't done much. He hasn't done enough to really justify him being on the field. I wanted to see him for a while, but seriously, I've wanted to see him on the field for a long time. But then when he has been on the field the past couple games that Hiddink finally played him, he didn't do anything. He was just another body on the field. So putting him on didn't really feel justified in this situation. It ended up getting us a penalty, but like I said, it was mainly William that caused that. See, the Pedro for Kennedy. I don't know why. I don't know what would really. Maybe Kennedy was still struggling because he got hit in the face from the first half, but I mean, honestly, Pedro is just not a Premier League player. He works hard, but he's not a Premier League player. He's better in the Champions League, which we're out of now. So now it feels like he just has no point to the team. But he's not strong enough. He's not quick enough. He's just kind of there. He does well defensively, so he'll put pressure on really well. But you've got Oscar and William that do that too, and they can produce on the other side of the ball as well. So he just feels like a non-player. And honestly, Kennedy can do more than he can on the ball. So just really don't understand that change, unless it was because Kennedy was struggling from the first half. I might see that, but it just, I don't know, didn't make sense at all. And then Traore for Remy should have happened immediately in the second half. Remy did nothing the first half, but you wait, give away the second goal. Now you're bringing on this striker to trying to play while they're a goal up, which means they're going to be sitting back a little bit more. So it's more difficult for him now. That's frustrating. And me personally, if that were me, if I were Traore, I'd be really frustrated that you would wait to bring me on until we go a goal down. Now they're sitting back. Now they're sitting further back, really packing it in. Now I can't do the same thing I would normally do if they were trying to push for a goal. So, stupid decision, in my opinion. But we still got the tie. It should have been a win. It's another game where we should have had another win. And a lot of people may think, oh, well, what's the point? It's at this point the title's gone, so it's just another game. Let's just see the season out. work on getting in players for the next season, work on getting in a new manager. But here's the problem that I have, and I've already brought this up in another video, but I'm gonna do it again because it needs to be brought up. We are in 10th place with 41 points, which we got lucky. West Brom lost today, so now we're still in 10th. But we're in 10th place with 41 points. We've tied 8 games since Hiddink has taken over, and at least half of those were easily winnable games, like West Brom at home, Man U at home, West Ham at home. There's one more, I think Watford at home. If you put our points together, if you put all those 2 drop points for all of those games, that's 16 points, 57. We'd be in 3rd place, 2 points above Arsenal right now. We could be fighting for a Europe spot. We can still be fighting for a Europe spot. You look at 7th place, which probably won't happen because of the FA Cup. But you look at 6th place then. 6th and 7th are 1 point away from each other. Man U's in 6th with 47. We're 6 points away. 6 points away from 6th place. We could be in Europa. And a lot of people may think, Europa, so what? We can keep some of the players that are probably going to want to leave if we're not in Europe next year. We have 8 games left this season. We need to start putting some wins together. And Hiddink doing his stupid tactics of, we're just going to play Mikel. Let's just put Remy out there. Not even really caring. Not even really... You're a goal down. Put on another striker to go on and win it. But no, just bring on Loftus-Cheek. The guy's an idiot. And we keep dropping these points against teams that we really should be winning. It's frustrating to watch. And the thing is, it's not even... he's the biggest problem because of the players he keeps playing. But there are players that need to step up. And one in particular, you were made vice captain this year. You need to step your game up, Ivanovic. First goal, Mikel didn't track back well and ended up sliding in where, Manic would have been there already and just won the ball. But anyway, Mikel slides in, pokes it to Lanzini. Ivanovic stands on the top of the 18. Stands some more. So Lanzini has time, touches out wide, has a nice shot, plenty of time to set all of it up. Because Ivanovic, and he did this very early on in the first half too, ball goes out wide, and instead of going out and pressuring, he just kind of stood there and put his arms behind his back. And the thing is, it wasn't even like he was 5 yards away. He was a good 10 yards away, just watching him set up for the cross. I'm like, go to the ball! I'm yelling at the TV for him to go to the ball because he's standing and waiting for him to just deliver the perfect cross. So, doesn't do well there, doesn't do well on the first goal. Second goal, completely loses track of Andy Carroll and then jogs next to him. Instead of putting himself in between Andy Carroll and the goal so he can't have a clear shot, because if we've learned one thing about our keeper this year, it's that Courtois does not do well with one-on-ones. He lets him pretty much take not a touch inside. He hit it first time, but he let him have a clear line to the goal. He didn't put himself inside. He didn't try to, bend his run in and put pressure on. He just jogged next to him, shots away, goal. Where's the effort? Where's the effort? First of all, where's the tracking of the man? Because he's given up 3 goals while he was in center D, or center defense, whatever, waiting for Terry to come back. He gave up 3 goals because he wasn't tracking his man well enough. He just gave up another one because he's not tracking his man. He's letting him run in behind and, oh no, now I got to get back, and not working hard enough. So, he's got to go. He has got to go. Especially because he's our vice captain. And look at what he's doing this year. He's doing nothing. He's a pitiful player right now. So, that's me ranting about it. The rest of the team, Cahill had another game. Couple challenges he put in were good. Couple he put in were just scary to watch because he doesn't know what he's doing. Terry once again led the back line with some good clearances, some good challenges. Azpilicueta looked better than he has been recently. Fabregas doing all he could as far as the offense, scored both goals, so he had a good game on set pieces, but as far as his game, which is sending the ball over top, you've got a striker who doesn't move up top in Remy, so his game was very ineffective today. Whereas Costa moves a lot, so he can find him on the pass. So that's frustrating to watch. Skipping Mikel, Kennedy I thought played pretty well. Really looked dangerous at times. There are a couple moments though where he's on the ball and it looks like the first half of the season because nobody's moving for him, so he's having to like try to dribble. And in fact, one of those times when he's trying to dribble because nobody's moving for him was when Kouyaté punched him in the face. So it's frustrating to see a player try really hard to work into a good position and nobody really show him anything. Oscar, I thought had an average game. Didn't do anything bad, but didn't really do much good either. So he was just a player today, just out there. Willian, first half was awful. Second half picked it up a little bit. He's given the ball away way too much. Like I want to look at his passing stats for the first half because they had to have been awful. I mean, it felt like every time he was on the ball, he gave it away. Bad pass, he dribbled too much, or misslipped or misstepped or something. And then, like I said, Remy completely awful. Pedro came on, did well defensively, like I said, but didn't provide as much in the attack. Made a couple good runs, but he's just, I don't know, he's so sporadic with his touch that sometimes it doesn't work out. The one where I said Remy turned and had a hit when he could have passed it off to him, I harped on Remy for doing that, but the truth is, even if he had laid it off to Pedro, I don't know if he actually would have been able to finish it or find a pass or anything because I feel like his touch would have been off his toe and out or something. Traore came on. I thought, I wish he was. All I could think was, I wish he had more than 30 minutes to try to change this game. I wish he'd been in from the start because he's moving well. His passing was a little bit iffy today, but he works hard. He moves well and he works hard. That's all you want from your striker, really. If he could just get a little bit bigger, like Costa, I mean, he could be another Costa on our team, just with a little bit less attitude. And then Loftus-Cheek came on, like I said, got the penalty, but didn't really do much outside of that to really justify him being on the field right now. So overall, I'm really disappointed because it's another game where we saved a point, but it feels like it shouldn't have been saving a point. It should have been, we get 3 points. And I'm tired of feeling that way. I'm tired of going into a game thinking, okay, we need the 3 points. We can't drop 2 points today. And then ending the game thinking, man, we saved that point. Because it's not good enough. And, I mean, you really think about what was going on under Mourinho. The ties and the wins that we were getting under Mourinho were like narrow ties. Like we were barely eking out a tie. We were barely eking out a win. That's how it feels under Hiddink. Except we haven't lost yet in the league, but we're eking out ties, we're eking out wins. At least when Mikel's on the field. When he's not, we're dominating Newcastle 5-1. So it's frustrating to see, and we really do lack something in the midfield without Matic in there. And on top of that, why not try Pato? Why not give him a chance to do something? Why not bring him in as a sub? You're already down 2-1. The worst he can do is nothing, really. If he goes out there and does nothing, well, yeah, now you're justified in sitting him, so go ahead and sit him. But if he goes out there and actually does something, now we feel like, hey, we're actually paying good money for this player to play him. So, disappointed, frustrated, but that's been the story of this season. So hopefully next week, I don't even know why I'm going to say this because it's not going to happen. Hopefully next week Hiddink learns from his mistakes and changes something. It's not going to happen. Now that I think about it, international break next week, so it's going to be a little while for the next game. So that's it for this review. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. What do you want to see change? Are you as frustrated as I am? Most likely. Leave a like and subscribe for more Chelsea game reviews, and I'll see you at the next game. Peace out.